But
Yep, I can do that.
yeah, I don't have a live here, sorry. There we are. Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to the Northeast iRacing League. We're here at the Big E Eldora Speedway, built in 1954, for the next practice race of the Northeast iRacing League. Colin Chismore, driver of the 03C Mini Stock at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, alongside my commentating partner tonight, Ella Scott. Really nice to have Ella back in the booth here with us in the Northeast iRacing League after her debut last week. So very good to have you here, Ella.
I'm glad to be back.
It's very good to be back after we had a little bit of a break before the last race that Merrick Sabaran came away with the win. After a real thrilling battle between him, Matt Barber, and Josh M. I need to be able to remember Josh's last name, but nonetheless, Matt Barber still looking for his first win here in the Northeast iRacing League, like Chad Lackey was before he got his first win here. He was always a bridesmaid, never really the bride, and then one night it just came around for him. So it's really nice to be able to see that the competition is extremely fierce here in the Northeast iRacing League. Just want to give a shout out to a few people here. First things first, thanks to David Smith for organizing this. This is going to be a really great way for us to be able to get everything set up in the off season and give us something to do while we're waiting for the racing to begin back at Brockville, Cornwall, Mohawk, all the tracks in the Northeast. Also want to give a shout out to Urashi Media, our first title sponsor. They'll be partnering up with us on November 7th. Of course, we are still looking for more, so please don't hesitate to reach out to one of us. Also, another housekeeping item. Just want to ask anybody who's tuned in on the stream, or will be later, we'll repeatedly be saying this. Please like, share, follow, whatever it may be on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. We always appreciate everything being taken care of. So we're just wrapping up qualifying. It looks like Josh Verne ran a 16.071 here. Brody Plotz coming away second, 16.122. Blake Smith, Matt Barber rounding out the top four. So we are taking to the track and gridding up for heat number 1 on the night. Ella, if you want to take us through the running order.
Yeah, so we have Josh Verne, Matt Samaral, Brandon Warren, Blake Smith, Chris Martin, Jarrett Herbison, Robbie Shaw, Jonathan Zahn, and Zach Lynch to wrap up the field for heat number 1.
I noticed you said Jarrett Herbison is joining us again here tonight, so it's really glad to see him back. He was extremely strong at our last race at Limaland, I do believe it is, battling Merrick Sabre, Matt Barber, and all those other guys for the win. He was up toward the front, and just some bad luck fell his way. So it's really good to see Jarrett back, as well as Josh Verne, a sprint car driver in the Northeast. Always been strong here in the Northeast iRacing League. I also see Shane Billings in this one, former winner here, as the pace truck is pacing the field around for the first heat of the evening. Looks like 20 drivers have answered the call tonight. We do take, I do believe, 18 to the A main. So there will be a B main here tonight, or Consie event. So we'll keep an eye on what drivers transfer through and what drivers, unfortunately, have to race their way in. Also really good to see Lightning Zach Lynch back, fellow driver in the Mini Stock Series. See Robbie Shaw again as well, as the lights are out on the pace truck as they come down the back straightaway here at the Big E. This place built in 1954 by Earl Baltz. Tony Stewart now the current owner. The track, of course, really rich history as the pace truck pulls off. Here in a moment, the field coming into turn number 4. And Josh Verne is going to get the green flag from the flagman, and we are racing. Jared Herbison, he looks down to the inside there, but it looks like that number 01 is Shane Billings, or the number 18 of Blake Smith is holding strong as Herbison washes up to the top. Blake Smith is going to take advantage of that as it's going to be Josh Verne leading the way. 3 wide for third place right now. You've got Jared Herbison, Matt Billings, Blake Smith all battling it out for that position. The number 21 is 12 of Merrick Sabarin, last week's winner, rolling the bottom in that 3 wide situation, trying to make his way up toward the front. How about Zach Lynch in that number 95 battling with Chris Martin as the field is now working lap number 2 of 8 here at the Big E. Zach, of course, improving on his performances every night here, Ella.
Yeah, definitely. It's really nice to see the drivers all improving as time goes by.
Of course, seat time is the biggest thing. We have some guys here as we're working lap 4, number 8, with Josh Verne, Blake Smith, Jared Herbison leading the way. These guys, they have a significant amount of money invested into their setups, and some guys have a lot more seat time than others. So it's definitely fun to see the guys who have a little less seat time start to mature. Josh Verne still leads the way here at lap 5 of number 8. Blake Smith, Merrick Sabarin, Jared Herbison, and Shane Billings currently your top 5. Looks like Herbison and Sabarin still battling it out. Blake Smith, though, how about this performance in the heat? I know he's had some bad luck here in the Northeast iRacing League, but he's a regular runner with us. Shane Billings looks to make it 3 wide. Jared Herbison comes off the top, gives a little bit of a tap to Merrick Sabarin. Jarrett getting a little bit of a ping-pong ball effect coming into turn number 3. Yellow. He falls back as the yellow lights are on for that, as there's a bit of a pile-up coming off turn number 4. Looks like Herbison's going to take it to the pit area. Your current leader right now, we are just going over everything, I do believe is Josh Verne, as we see Robbie Shaw pull away from that incident. So we'll take a look and see what exactly happened here. I see, is that John Saunders in the field as well? Not number 71? Yes, yeah. That would be Jonathan Saunders. I knew I recognized that paint scheme, another mini stock driver. So we'll see exactly what happened here in a moment. As Josh Verne pacing us around. Blake Smith currently running second. Merrick Sabarin, last week's winner. After a thrilling battle, kind of a slide or die situation there, Ella.
Yeah. I also like to note that we have Brandon Warren back with us tonight after a few weeks off. So we welcome Brandon back to the field and hope to see others join us as well.
Yeah, for sure. I just, like I mentioned earlier, Eldora also a home of some pretty rich events here. I know they had the Eldora Million with the sprint cars not long ago. They did it with the late models a couple times. Of course, World 100 held here. So, extremely deep racing roots here at the Big E. As we continue to pace the field under the caution flag as we're watching off the back end of John Saunders, who is currently rounding out, I do believe, the running cars. Robbie Shaw and Jared Herbison might be back there, but yeah, Robbie Shaw's just right in behind that number 71. So we'll see if he can make his way back up into the field as the pace truck is looking to pull off this time, I do believe. And we are coming back to racing as we're watching off the back bumper of that number 67 of Robbie Shaw. Josh Verne fires it off into turn number 1. It's looking like the number 18 of Blake Smith follows in his tire tracks toward the bottom. As Blake Smith is looking to roll the bottom, I do believe we have that number 12 of Merrick Sabaray making his way back up. So Merrick, of course, a little bit of an aggressive driving style, but it's always extremely fun to watch. As we're working lap number 7 of 8, the flagman giving the dancing sticks in the air, and the white flag is now being displayed for Josh Verne in that number 1 car. Blake Smith, though, not far off the back bumper of him. Usually we see Verne check out in these heat races, but it's not looking that way tonight, as Blake Smith's only about 5 lengths as the number 1 of Josh Verne claims heat number 1. So it's another heat win for Josh here in the Northeast iRacing League. Blake Smith was, I do believe, his best heat finish here in the Northeast iRacing League, coming away P2. Shane Billings, Chris Martin, Merrick Sabaran coming away 5th. Zach Lynch, Brandon Warren, Robbie Shaw, John Saunders, and Jared Herbison rounding out the field here after a little bit of trouble earlier in the heat race. As we start to take the grid for heat number 2, well, let's run down the lineup.
I'm just waiting for all the names to load, but so far we have Logan Brown, Matt Barber, Clayton Kowalski, Ken Scott, Rylan Banks, Michael Saunders, Chad Lackey, Brody Plotz, and Mike Denny.
It's really interesting to see Lackey and I do believe Rylan Banks. They were saying earlier in the drivers' meeting that they've been running some laps together here. I don't think they ever really made it to Eldora, but of course Rylan Banks kind of being taken under Chad Lackey, a former winner in the Northeast iRacing League's wing. I know we have Matt Barber and Clayton Solovsky in this one as well. They're pretty well regular runners of the Northeast iRacing League. Brody Plotz, I do believe, in this one, as well as Mike Saunders, Money Mike in that number 88 machine. Brody Plotz, of course, the owner of Urashi Media, our first title sponsor, on November 7th when we get the points racing going. So just keep that date in mind. The final schedule is being taken care of right now by the staff at the Northeast iRacing League. So once we get to that point, we'll be good to go. As looking like Brody's going to come away from the pole on this one with Matt Barber to his outside, Clayton Slavsky and Chad Lackey on row 2. You got, I do believe that's Rylan Banks and Money Mike, 2 mini stock guys on row number 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, that would be Logan Brown, sorry. Rylan Banks, of course, row number 4 as the pace truck pulls off, and we are green for heat number 2. Ella, take us away.
Well, we have Brody Plotz leading with Clayton in second and Matt Barber coming up behind him.
This is going to be a really tight field of cars here in this heat race. I know these guys, they're all hungry. Matt Barber, I do believe, has a couple heat wins in the Northeast iRacing League here, so look for him to make some strong moves. But Brody Plotz and Clayton Solovsky, they're both looking for their first heat win here. I know Clayton, we kind of call him the closer. He has an all right qualifying, has issues in the heat races, but he's looking strong here tonight as he's going to be looking for the A-main win later on tonight if he can transfer in through this heat race. But Matt Barber and Brody Plotz battling it out for the lead right now, kind of side by side right now as we're watching Rylan Banks in that number 76 work with Money Mike and running next to Mike Denny in that number 97. Rylan gets a little bit upset, but the eyes are all on the battle for the lead right now as Brody Plotz is rolling that bottom quite nicely, but Matt Barber is able to keep that momentum off the top side. I know Eldora is sort of like a progressively banked track, so it's a little bit flatter toward the bottom, a little more higher bank toward the top where you can make some speed and carry your momentum down the back straightaway. But that shorter way around, it seems to be holding strong here tonight, Ella.
Yeah, for sure.
Working lap number 5 of 8 here, 6 of 8, with Matt Barber still running that cushion up along the top, seeing what kind of grip he can make, as we have Chad Lackey battling with Clayton Slavsky right now. They're kind of side by side, door to door. Clayton looking to finish in the top 3 in this heat, but Chad Lackey, former winner here in the Northeast iRacing League as well, he's not giving anything up to Clayton Slavsky, of course. Now a mini stock sophomore, Clayton is, so it's really nice to see him getting his feet wet here and battling against some of the greats in some other classes, as that's a really, really good shot of that 16 of Matt Barber, who kind of rolled the middle of the bottom lane there. Maybe he's trying to find out a little bit of grip for later on in the feature race, as we're white flag now. Matt Barber coming off turn number 2, down into turn number 3. Brody Plotz doesn't look like he has anything for him, but that battle for third is on right now with Clayton Slavsky and Chad Lackey coming to the line side by side. Matt Barber, Brody Plotz, I do believe it's going to be Chad Lackey, Clayton Slavsky, and Logan Brown rounding out your top 5 here. Congratulations, of course, to Matt Barber on that heat win. Mike Denny, Money Mike Saunders, Rylan Banks, and Ken Scott rounding out the field here for Heat 2. As we are now moving into the consolation event here. Just trying to do a little bit of math and find out how many transferred from the Heat and how many went into the A. Do believe if Ella has that information, that would be great.
Mine is still loading. Looks like we have 11 in our B main. We have Brandon Warren, Logan Brown, Merrick Sabro, Ken Scott, Jarrett Herbison, Robbie Shaw, Jonathan Saunders, Rylan Banks, Michael Saunders, Zach Lynch, and Mike Denny.
Are you able to tell us how many cars are transferring into the A main from here, Ella? 20, so I do believe that if we have 11 cars, the top 9 are going to transfer tonight.
That seems right, but I'm not entirely sure. My math isn't the greatest.
That is correct. The top 9 are transferring here tonight through the B main, so the odds are going to be on the last 2 drivers. Jared Herbison going to be rounding out the field here after some hard luck in heat number 1. Look for him to charge up toward the front and get into a transfer position so he can make his second Northeast iRacing League start. Zach Lynch and Money Mike, 2 really good friends sharing, I do believe that is row number 1, 2, 3. So watch for those boys out of Woodlawn, Ontario, and that grew up pretty much together to battle it out here tonight. And the green flag is out. Merrick Sabare, last week's winner, leads us down to the green flag, and Zach Lynch jumps out to the bottom lane, trying to see if he can make any hay on that bottom. Merrick Sabare slides up in front of that number 9 of Logan Brown. Zach Lynch trying to roll that bottom against that number 97 of Mike Denny. Mike Denny kind of not able to make as much hay as Lynch right now, as they're coming off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. Zach Lynch showing real strong with Logan Brown and Merrick Sabare. We all know Merrick's extremely strong here in the Northeast iRacing League, so it's nice to see. But don't look now. That number 63 of Jared Herbison, he's making some hay, Ella.
Yeah, he's making his way up.
For sure. He started shotgun on the field. He's now made his way up into the top 5. He tries to throw a slider on the number 67. Robbie Shaw. I do believe that is going to put us under caution. I don't think Robbie was quite expecting that slider to be thrown there, but of course, like we saw last week in the Northeast iRacing League, kind of seems like it's slide or die here, especially when you're in a B main looking for transfer position into the A.
Yeah, for sure.
Sabran continues to lead in this B main here. Really surprised Merrick was in this B main, Ella.
Yeah, definitely, especially coming after that win last week, but he's leading, so hopefully we still get to see him in that A main, and maybe he'll come up with another win.
Yeah, I know he kind of had to battle his way up to the front. I'm not 100% sure where he started last week, but if I remember right, he was outside of the top 8. So it was extremely fun to watch as we go from the little legitimate bull ring of Lima Land to the big fast half mile of the Big E Eldora.
Yeah, definitely a change. But the drivers seem to be adapting well to the track, and Hasn't been too many cautions yet. I don't want to jinx it for the drivers, but
Yeah, we all know we've had some races where cautions kind of bred cautions, and they turned a little bit long, but things turned out really, really well. As the lights are out on the pace truck, the field's starting to double up. Merrick Sabaray and that number 9 of Logan Brown going to be taking up row number 1. Zach Lynch next to Mike Denny, row number 2. Just looking to cycle through. Brandon Warren, Jared Herbison, who's charging up through the field here in this B main, trying to storm them literally if he can, and come away with that. So keep an eye on that number 63, but you got Rylan Banks and Money Mike right in behind them. Jonathan Saunders and Robbie Shaw. They're all looking to transfer in as Merrick brings us down to the green. Zach Lynch jumps down to that bottom as Merrick Sabaray kind of slides in front of that number 9. Logan Brown crosses him back over going into turn number 1, and it's just crossover after crossover, slider after slider for the battle for the lead. Zach Lynch is just hanging out back there thinking, hey, you guys make contact, I'll take the lead from you. And it's going to be just that. Make a little bit of contact coming off turn number 4. Logan Brown gets a little bit upset, goes off the side of that number 95 of Lynch. Lynch slides up into the second place as we're watching Jared Herbison all over the back bumper of those two boys. Jarrett's, of course, hungry for this B main win here to transfer into the A, as we now have the cross flags out. 5 in, working lap 6. Merrick Sabaray, Zach Lynch, Mike Denny, your top 3 with 5 to go here at the halfway point. Jared Herbison, of course, is hounding those two boys still, trying to find a way around them and see if he has anything from that number 12 of Merrick Sabaray, sorry. As they're 3 wide for second right now. Jared Herbison is just not giving up. Extremely talented driver. I know he's a 3rd generation driver, of course, George and Chris, his father. As Jarrett throws that slider on the number 97 of, gets into the wall a little bit there. Maybe a little bit of help from Mike Denny. See if that'll put us under the caution flag here in a second. Jarrett drops way back as Mike hits the yellow. Gets up on his side, and I do believe that is going to put us under caution at lap number 8 of 10, Ella. Yeah. That'll put us into a green-white checker situation, I do believe.
Looks like he just got into the wall a bit, and after the contact with Jarrett Herbison.
I mean, that is probably something Jarrett wanted to see. Of course, we can see him sliding down in the pit area, missing that right front. So see if he can get a reset, get everything squared away with that number 63 ride, and get him back out there. See if he can make up those 2 spots and transfer in. As Ken Scott currently in that final transfer position, Ella, so it'll be interesting to see if he can make it in.
Yeah, definitely.
But quick rundown as we're working this hopefully final caution of the B main event. We have Merrick Sabaray and Lightning Zach Lynch on row number 1. See if Zach has anything for that number 12. Logan Brown, who's been battling with Merrick pretty well all night in that number 9 machine, rolling off in 3rd. Rylan Banks, I like to call him the rookie because he's kind of a good friend of mine. He's no rookie, though. You got Money Mike Saunders, Robbie Shaw, Brandon Warren, Jonathan Saunders, Mike's cousin, Ken Scott, Jared Herbison, and Mike Denny rounding out the field here, as we're going to be coming to green this time around, I do believe, Ella.
Yep, the lights are off on the pace truck.
I know the fans will be watching toward the front of the field, but I'm looking toward the back to see if Herbison can make it into the show.
Yeah, it would be really nice to see Herbison. It's his 2nd race with us, and it'd be nice to see him in a A main. And
yeah, as we are coming to green, single file restart this time as we're inside of 5 laps to go for the B main, and the lights are green. We're watching that number 63 of Herbison to see if he can make it by those 2 cars of that number 21 of Ken Scott and Jonathan Saunders and number 71 as we're back under the caution lights. I do believe Robbie Shaw was involved in that again, with possibly Mike Denny or Brandon Warren. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, Ella.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened there.
As David, of course, is kindly going to take us through a little bit of a rewind to see what happened. Looks like Mike Denny was coming out of the pits as the green was being thrown, and I don't think that was any retaliation. I just think he kind of, as we saw Robbie Shaw get around in the number 7 of Brandon Warren involved there, just on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, I did see that.
As we are going to be going into the first attempt at overtime here. I do believe we have 3 attempts at green-white checker finishes. I'm not sure if white flag ends the race kind of like NASCAR or not, but we'll figure that out as we're going with the Northeast iRacing League and figuring out how our rule set actually works. This is what these practice races are for. Of course, we're pretty deep into the unofficial practice race season, so it's get these drivers all tuned up, get us all tuned up, and everybody figured out for when we go points racing on November 7th with iRacing Media as our title sponsor. As we are coming to the green flag here, just want to say please like, follow, whatever it may be, subscribe, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. As we're coming down the back straightaway for this first attempt at our overtime finish. As Merrick Sabaran, Zach Lynch, Logan Brown, Rylan Banks, Money Mike, John Saunders, Jared Herbison, Ken Scott, Mike Denny, Brandon Warden, Robbie Shaw all hit that loud pedal, and we are green. Merrick Sabaran able to pull away from that number 95 Lynch. Lynch is trying to look to the bottom though. We have the number 9 of Logan Brown. He's trying to work the outside of that number 95 machine. As Merrick Sabaran works his way into turn number 3, Zach Lynch is trying his hardest to get this B-main win here. I know he's kind of getting into iRacing. He's getting good seat time here as he's working the outside of that number 9 of Logan Brown. He gets a little bit of a run going down. I'm keeping an eye on that number 63 of Herbison. He is in a transfer position, Ellis, so this is going to be interesting to see as Zach Lynch crosses over that number 9, see if he can get that second place finish. And it looks like Zach Lynch is going to come away second in behind Merrick Sabaran, last week's winner, Logan Brown. Rylan Banks coming away fourth, Mike Saunders, Money Mike in fifth. Jared Herbison, Jonathan Saunders, Ken Scott, and Mike Denny all transfer. Unfortunately, Brandon Warren and Robbie Shaw, they're going to be watching from the grandstands proverbially. As we're getting ready to grid here for the feature race, I'm going to let Ella take us through the lineup here.
All right. So on pole, it looks like we have Chad Lackey, Shane Billings, Brody Plotz, Blake Smith, Matt Barber, Josh Byrne, Chris Martin, Clayton Kowalski, Merrick Sabaran, Zach Lynch, Logan Brown, Rylan Banks, Michael Saunders, Jonathan Saunders, Ken Scott, Mike Denny. To wrap up your field, there's still a few loading.
Just waiting to see Jared Herbison grid there. I know he transferred in. So a couple cars, like Ella said, to take the grid here is watch the pyrotechnics going on here at the Eldora Speedway before we take our original pace laps. I know come the official point season at this point in the night, we will be doing the anthems, both Canadian and American, and there will be an invocation as well. But for tonight, we're going to start rolling them immediately as it's a practice race. Like Ella said, couple of former Northeast iRacing League practice race winners, Chad Lackey and Shane Billings coming away on row number 1. Got Brody Plotz in that iRacing Media car, and Blake Smith, 2 guys looking for their first Northeast iRacing League win in row number 2. Matt Barber, I hate to say it, I said it about Chad Lackey, always a bridesmaid but never really a bride, but Chad was able to change that, so let's see if Matt Barber can follow in his footsteps. His lights on the pace truck are out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Jarrett Herbison made it in. It looks like Robbie Shaw and Brandon Warren will be joining the field.
I know Herbison did transfer in through the B main. I'm kind of unsure to see. Maybe there was a little bit of EOL issued at the end or penalty of some kind. But either way, we're coming to green this time. Northeast iRacing League. Drivers from multiple disciplines working their way into turn number 3. Pace truck will be looking for the safe haven of the infield coming up here, and we will be coming green this time.
Green's out, green flag,
Chad Lackey,
green flag.
Shane Billings, they fire off. Brody Plotz gets into the number 91, a little bit on that initial green, and we are mean and green in the Northeast iRacing League. A little bit of a stack up there as everybody seems to sort their stuff out. Chad Lackey and Shane Billings working that top side with Josh Vernon behind him. Merrick Sabaran, winner in the E-main. Of course, in 4th place, last week's winner. Let's keep an eye on him to see if he can come away with the back-to-back. Only James Normoil has been able to do that so far. It's Matt Barber, Brody Plotz, and that number 12 of Merrick Sabaran. battling 3 wide for that number 4 position, I do believe that
Yellow flag is out.
Clayton Slavsky, a little bit of trouble there. That's going to put us under the caution lights. Clayton into the number 9 of Robbie Shaw there. I know, Logan Brown, sorry. Clayton had an issue. Potentially overdrove the corner, so we're going to see exactly what happened there. Looks like Clayton was coming in turn number 3, got in a little bit too hot. Almost got to wonder if that's not Clayton in that car, and that's actually his son Calvin. Kind of busting Clayton's chops here, but either way, that'll put the caution lights out. Of course, Clayton will take his car back, possibly get a reset, hopefully be able to join the field. But Chad Lackey leading us at lap number 2 here. Shane Billings, Josh Verne, Mark Saber, and Matt Barber in your top 5. Pretty familiar top 5 here, Ella.
Yeah, it seems quite all the races that has been your main top 5, but it's anyone's race, you know. We've seen drivers come all the way from the back to make it to the top 5, so it'll be interesting to see who will come away with the win tonight.
And that's what I like about this with the NorthEast iRacing League. We see comers and goers, for a lack of a better term. We've got, I know I've started to nickname Clayton the closer. He has bad luck in the heat races. Toward the start of the feature, he starts toward the rear, has a little bit of issues, but as those laps wind down, he gets to the front. Then we have guys who go from the front to the back. It's really the discipline of taking care of your car in the NorthEast iRacing League and not burning up your tires too early and making sure that you're able to get that grip as the laps wind down and when it matters. Track, of course, looking really, really good here at the Eldora Speedway tonight, so kudos to the NorthEast iRacing League staff for figuring out the settings that are going to work here. And we're going to come to the first restart of the night. Chad Lackey and Shane Billings leading us again. Eric Saber and Josh Verne following behind them as the number 1 Lackey slides up in front of that number 91 Lackey in front of the 01 of Shane Billings, and he goes back down to the bottom. Josh Verne trying to roll that bottom as well, but Saber and Billings not giving anything up on that high line. I know a little bit of grip right up against that cushion as the number 95 Zach Lynch. A little bit of a bobble there, seems to put us back under the caution flag. So working lap number 4 of 30, we're back under the yellow. Doesn't look like the 24 Solovsky's back out. But the number 95 of Lynch, and just trying to see who was all involved there. Kind of looks like it was coming off the restart. Zach might have got a little bit of the wall there. I see the number 27 of Martin on him. Lynch, of course, rolling the bottom as we fast forward. Lynch drove it in a little bit too hard there and pulled a Kyle Larson into those implement barrels there, and that put us under caution for our second caution flag of the evening. Lackey and Billings still leading the way. Josh Verne, Saber, and Barber in the top 5. Brody Plotz, really good to see him up in 6th place right now. He's had a couple good top 10 performances when he's been here. Chris Martin always strong as well. Money Mike in P8. Brandon Warren 9th. Mike's cousin, Jonathan Saunders, rounding out your top 10. The rookie Ryland Banks in that number 76 in P11. Logan Brown in the number 9. He was battling with Saber and the B-main for that win there as Blake Smith in behind him. Looking off the nose of the pace truck, this is actually a pretty cool view. You can kind of see what I was talking about earlier with the progressive banking. You can definitely see how it is flatter up at the top, but there's that lane right up where that cushion is right now, and it's a very narrow window, but there is a relatively sharp transition there.
Yeah, you do see it there.
Green flag, green.
We're back to green. Chad Lackey leading the way. Josh Verne jumps into P2. Shane Billings not 0-1 though on the outside. As Mark Saber is looking to stick his nose underneath that right or left rear quarter panel on that 0-1. Looking for Saber. I know he'll throw some moves that'll get him up toward the front, of course. Like we heard in Victory Lane last week, was kind of slide or die at Lena Land. Of course, that being an extreme short track. But we're on the big half mile here tonight, and he's holding his own against Verne, Lackey, and Billings as we're under caution yet again for caution flag number 3. The number 7 of Brandon Warren involved in another incident. We'll see what happened there. Money Mike just gets into his back end coming off the corner. Jonathan Saunders collects him. Ryland Banks involved also, and Mike Denny. Clayton Slavsky actually has made it back out. Of course, running in P18 right now. I'm not sure if he's any laps down right now, but we're going to watch that number 7 of... sorry, my apologies. Brandon Warren fix his car up and get rolling yet again here. So he'll join us at the tail end of the field as we're now on lap number 6 of 30 here tonight. Just a reminder as well, if you could, please, YouTube, Facebook, Discord, Twitch, all that good stuff. Follow, subscribe, like, everything like that. Of course, Facebook specifically, the Northeast iRacing League page. We're looking to get to those 100 likes or follows, so we'll be able to live stream on Facebook, and you'll be able to watch what you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or whatever it may be here tonight on Facebook. So it'll be a little bit easier, of course. That would give us a real big chance to grow. Excuse me.
Yeah, we have lots of posts about upcoming events and races, and I know in the future we're going to be having some different sorts of nights. I don't exactly know, but there's been talk of some specials coming up. So if you follow our Facebook, there'll be updates about all those events, so you don't want to miss them.
For those mini stock fans here on iRacing, that's been mentioned a couple times. But either way, we're coming to green this time around. Lackey and Billings leads us down to the green flag again. Josh Byrne gets a really good jump in behind that number 91 of Lackey. Of course, gets to the door of that 01. Merrick Sabaran gets his nose underneath that left rear quarter of that 01 machine of Billings. Matt Barber following in tow, but don't count that number 96 and Brody Plotz out. I know he does have some iRacing experience, but he's a track photographer at Brockville, Ontario Speedway, and does photography at other tracks, Cornwall, Oswego, and all that. So it's really nice to see not just the drivers, but photographers, fans, crew members, everything getting involved. As Shane Billings working that top lane, Chad Lackey seems to be looking really good on that bottom right now, Ella.
Yeah. Going back to Brody, it's nice to also mention the improvement of all the drivers, and Brody Plotz has been improving almost every night. And it's great to see how well the league is going for everyone. All the improvements.
Yeah, so of course by the time we go points racing on November 7th is our tentative date, with Urashi Media being the title sponsor for that evening, and of course a partner of the Northeast iRacing League, because we're looking to be almost 4 wide back here. I do believe that's for the lead, as Chad Lackey is now being hounded for the first time tonight by Barber, Billings. I do believe Sabaran's in there as well as Vern, so this is getting really exciting here, Ella, as we're working lap 13 here. Billings gets around going to turn number 1. A little bit of contact there, and Money Mike involved in that bit of a pile-up. We've got the number 67 of Robbie Shaw in there as well. Ryland Banks driving away. Zach Lynch as well. Chris Martin involved. That all started with something with the number 01 of Billings there, Ella.
Yeah, it looks like he just spun out a bit, and then...
Yeah, you might have just got a little bit of contact there battling as we're rewinding through the carnage. So coming off turn number 4, it's looking like 01 of Billings to the inside of Merrick Sabaran. Billings come down a little bit. Contact with Vern upset the rear end of that car, and around he went as one of our front runners here involved in an issue here tonight, as he's going to be looking to get that reset if he can.
Yeah, hopefully he can make his way back up to the top of the field. And
it's looking like the 24 Slavsky is going to be getting the lucky dog here. Of course, it'd be nice to have a partner for the lucky dog situation. I know NASCAR, they used to have Aaron Zella, Brockville Speedway. They had a sponsor for the lucky dog at one point as well. So if anybody's interested in jumping on board with that, even any awards come points racing. I know Pine Tree Automotive, they're jumping on board for the hard charger, $10 to the hard charger of every night. I know Urashi Media is involved as a title sponsor one evening as well. Just want to put out there as well, there is an actual beautiful looking trophy for the Northeast iRacing League inaugural champion. I know there's going to be some hardware for the podium finishers as well in second and third, so we'll get everybody up to date with that if you want to follow us on all the socials and everything good and be able to see the going on of the league as the pace truck pulls off.
Green's out. Green flag.
And
Green
we are
flag.
back to green. Chad Lackey leading every lap so far, working lap number 13 this time. He's being hounded by Merrick Sabaray. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Sabaray and Barber. Barber gets into that number 1 of Vern. I know that upsets the back end of these cars, as we just saw with Shane Billings, but everyone seems to gather it back up as we're back to green with that number 96 of Brody Potts up the second right now. Excuse me. 4 wide for second right now between Lackey, Vern, Barber, and Klotz. They're just all trying to hound, but don't look now. Merrick Sabaray, the B-main winner, looking to go 2 for 2 here tonight in main events.
Yellow flag is out.
Putting a little bit of distance on. As I say that, we're back under the caution flag. Yellow lights are on yet again for the number 7 of Brandon Warren. So looks like a little bit of help there. He just seemed to slow up off the corner and just lost it. Of course, happening right in front of the lightning Zach Lynch. Glad to see everybody was able to keep everything together, avoid that issue, and only have a single car incident. As the pace truck's back out, and Slavsky yet again with a lucky dog, or just trying to catch the tail end of the field here. Touching on drivers that have improved also, Ellie, you've got Brody, Clayton, Zach, Mike, like you said, it's just so diversified with the amount of experience and the different classes that some of these drivers run. I know we have guys from mini stocks, modifieds, like just everything, and it's phenomenal to see. Of course, Matt Barber, sportsman driver, for example. Chad Lackey, a former vintage driver. Same with Shane Billings. You got Ryland Banks, Zach Lynch, Clayton Solovsky, all those, like the Saunders boys. They're all mini stock drivers. I know Chris Martin. I recognize that car from somewhere. I know he's driven. Logan Brown. I do believe sportsman. Ella, you'd be able to correct me on that.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm still trying to learn all the names, but
I know Merrick Sabaray did race at one point, or does race. I'm just not sure what class. So if we're interviewing him tonight, that'll also be something to ask him, Ella.
yeah, definitely.
But
And it'd
we're
be
gonna
nice
coming
to get the meet the drivers going again.
Green
For
flag.
sure.
Green
Merrick
flag.
Sabaray takes us back to the green flag as he gets a good jump on that number 1 of Josh Burton. But Brody Plot's still in behind. Chad Lackey on his back bumper, though, as we're back under the green flag. And my stream's going a little iffy, so my apologies as it clears out. But it seems like Sabaray leading the way yet again here, just past the halfway point. We're working lap number 17 right now. Josh Byrne running P2. Brody Plotz. Matt Barber's working his way up back through the field, though, after a little bit of contact earlier. As caution lights are back on. Robbie Shaw this time on lap 17 to 30. Ooh, a little bit of a stack up there. I see Shane Billings involved in that. Chris Martin. John Saunders as well. Brandon Warren. Like a little bit of contact between those guys coming off that final corner. As we're working the caution yet again here. Lap 17 of 30. Like I said earlier, Ella, cautions breed cautions.
Yeah.
But Merrick Sabaray being able to take over the lead from that 91 of Lackey, who's dropped back to P5. I know Lackey, like I said, it's kind of like the comers and goers situation, Ella, where we have guys like Merrick Sabaray who win the B main, start a little deeper in the field, or possibly not with the invert that we had, and coming up to the front. And then you got consistent guys. Brody Plotz, he's been up at the front all night. Matt Barber, Chad Lackey, they've all been up there. But the comers and goers, like I said, you really got to take care of your equipment in the NorthEast iRacing League. Like we saw Shane Billings, unfortunately, have a little bit of bad luck there. A little bit of contact going into turn 1, upset the back end of that car, and it looped around. as I do believe we're going to be coming to green this time. A little bit of a quickie yellow yet again. As Sabre and Josh Verne, sprint car driver, are going to be bringing us down to green. Brody Plotz, photographer. Matt Barber, sportsman driver. Chad Lackey, vintage. Blake Smith, sportsman. We're back to green.
Green flag, green flag.
Verne got a little bit of a good jump there with that number 12 Sabre. As Verne, working that top side, looks to cross over that 12 Sabre. And we're going to have a really good battle here, Ella, for the finish. I know Matt Barber's working. Oh, a
Yellow flag
little bit
is
of
out.
trouble in the back. Couple cars airborne upside down. That's going to put us back under the caution flag here. Looks like Josh Verne is going to be our official leader. Money Mike involved in that one, so we're going to see what exactly happened. Zach Lynch, Money Mike with probably some hard racing? Not 100% sure. Oh, it looks like Lynch got a little loose coming off the corner. Got sideways and Mike had nowhere to go there.
No.
Clayton Slavsky still riding around at the back there, so we're going to see if he's back on the lead lap or not here momentarily. As we'll wait for timing and scoring to cycle through. I'm pretty sure we saw Josh Verne as the official leader, but iRacing currently showing Merrick Sabrin scored as your leader right now. Looking like Sabrin, Verne, Plotz, Barber, and Lackey in your top 5. Blake Smith having a really solid run here tonight, Ella. I know we saw him few weeks ago and making his iRacing or Northeast iRacing League debut, and just didn't have the best of luck. Wasn't performing great, but of course he's been putting in the practice as it shows, and he's running P6 right now with a really strong performance here, as well as Ryland Banks. He was telling me he was talking with Chad Lackey, getting a little bit of information for settings, maybe a little bit of setup here and there if you're allowed. But we're coming back to green this time. I'm going to let Ella take this restart.
All right, the pace lights are off as we come to green.
Green flag, green flag.
Looks like Merrick Saveron is going to get the P1 position with Brody Plotz and Josh Verne not far behind him, as well as Matt Barber.
Of course, we're coming to 10 to go right now, so a handful of laps left, or two handfuls
Yellow
of
flag is
laps
out.
left to go. We've got that number 12 of Merrick Sabre and the 96 of Brody Plotz battling with Josh Verne as the caution lights are back on so far. Looking like drivers that are out of this event right now or just didn't start. The number 95 is Zach Lynch. We got the 97 of Mike Denny and the 63 of Jared Herbison. Unfortunately not finishing this event. Is pace truck back out yet again here tonight. That 24 Slavsky going around another lap. So we'll see exactly what's going on with Clayton here in a little bit. But, like I said, I almost gotta wonder if that's Calvin in that car. Clay, of course, just not some good luck here tonight, unfortunately. It's unfortunately what it is here, and just the way things are going.
No, but it's good that we have a lot more races to come, and some of these newcomers, hopefully they'll come away with a win. 1 point this year, but
Yeah, I know our winners that I can recall here in the Northeast iRacing League is we're just inside of 10 to go right now here at the Big E, Eldora. Putting on some really good racing here tonight. Merrick Sabrin is one. I do believe Chad Lackey's taken one or two. Shane Billings. James Normoyle, he hasn't really been around too much since going back-to-back at USA Speedway for our first two events. Pretty well untouched. As there's more definitely. But only seeing a couple past winners here in the field, so maybe we'll see another first winner tonight. Brody Plotz, Matt Barber, Josh Verne, all looking for their first Northeast iRacing League unofficial win, of course, as we're not going points racing, but a win's a win. As Sabre and Plotz are bringing us back down to the green flag, Barber and Verne right in behind.
Green
Pace
flag,
truck
green
pulls off and
flag.
we are green. Sabaran gets a really good jump there. The number 1 of Vern trying to look to the inside going into the corner. Decides better of that. Take that high lane and get the momentum with that number 12 to stay with him. Brody Plot's running that top line as well. I know we kind of called him the high side hustler, I guess, is lack of a better term. I think there's another driver, one of the Drapers, I do believe. It'd be interesting to see if they have iRacing with the nickname of that. But right now we're racing here at Eldora. We've got the number 12 of Sabaran. A little bit of contact with Billings again. Not sure if that's going to put us under the caution flag.
Yellow flag is out.
Doesn't look to be. And as I said that, we are back under the yellow flag. Ryland Banks involved in this one, and that number 76, the rookie. Ooh, car airborne there. As he drove it in, working on trying to get around that number 88 of Money Mike. Oh, there was already trouble and he just got into it. It looked like John Saunders and Brandon Warren involved as well. Contact ensued, and then Ken Scott, of course, 76, Ryland Banks involved in that. So we'll see what exactly happened. Just for the fun of it right now, Clayton is a very good friend of mine. I'm just going to see if that is his son in the car. But just want to touch on again, please follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, especially Facebook if you can. We're looking to get over that 100 like, 100 follow mark, so we'll be able to go live on there and expand the league even more. Unfortunately, Jared Herbison as well not answering the call here to this race after issuing his heat race. He pretty well tried to storm the field in the B main, transferred through, and just didn't want to do the A, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
Also, for those of you wondering, Jared Galway, commentator here as well in the NorthEast iRacing League, a fellow driver of mine in the mini stock class, the 06J, not joining us tonight with medical issues. So we wish Jared the best, hope for him to get better, but we're coming back to green this time around, I do believe. As everybody's up on that high lane where the momentum's made. And we're back to green. The number 12 of Sabarans fires us down into turn number 1. Brody Plot's looking to the inside of that number 1 of Josh Vern, though. Matt Barber, he's going to be able to possibly make some headway as we're working lap number 23 of 30. Of course, we are under green flag conditions, so these guys are looking to see if they have anything for that 12 Sabaran and see if he can go back-to-back. Josh Vern, that number 1, though, sprint car driver. As I said that, Brody Plot's getting the business right now from
Yellow flag is out.
Chris Martin and Matt Barber as we're back under caution on lap number 25 of 30, so 5 laps to go here. Yellow lights are on. You know these drivers, they're going to want to up the ante. Just want to touch on Clayton Slofsky is now up to P13, so back on the lead lap. 71 to John Saunders. Looks like just slid up, got a little too tight coming off the corner, and like what we saw, who was that we saw do that earlier tonight, Ella?
Trying to remember.
I almost want to say it was Mike Denny we saw kind of do something like that. Not 100% sure, though, but John Saunders, of course, takes his car and unfortunately out of this race now. With a DNF position. So good news for anybody who was running behind him, but not good to see DNF there. So just waiting for unofficial timing and scoring. Right now I'm being shown Chris Martin in that 27A. Your leader. Clayton Solovsky sort of pacing around here. Not sure what's going on with him. Dropping back in behind the field, maybe pitted or something like that. So he's back under power and going to catch the tail end of the field here. Running P13 right now. As timing and scoring cycles through, it looks like Mark Sabaran still your leader with the number 1 of Josh Vern, the number 96 of Brody Plot's in tow for P3. Matt Barber currently running P4 as we're going to be coming to 5 to go this time, but Chad Lackey still maintaining that 5th place position right now.
Green flag,
Smith as
green
well
flag.
as we are back under green. Sabaran leads us down into turn number 1. Like you said, this is what the drivers are seeing with all the dirt. They have tear-off options, I do believe, so Definitely makes a challenge for visibility here as Sabre and Vern battling it out for that lead position right now. Vern trying what he can on the bottom, but Matt Barber, look at what the moves he's
Yellow,
being
yellow,
able to
yellow.
throw Ella as we're back
know.
under the caution flag. He's hungry for that first win in the Northeast iRacing League as we're riding along with the 21 of Ken Scott in that Autodrome Drummond ride. So that's a pretty sharp looking ride. Looks like something like what Yann Boussier used to run. Looks like Robbie Shaw into trouble yet again, unfortunately, and collects a couple cars involved in that issue.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clayton in that as well. Chris Martin and Ken Scott. So hopefully they can make their way back to the tail end and
Continue underway. My apologies, I was just having a sip of my drink here. Of course, the throat gets a little bit dry when you're doing all this commentating, so definitely learning some lessons on how to keep the voice going for the whole event. But we're going to be just inside of 4 laps to go here. Mark Sabran, Josh Vern, Brody Plotz, Matt Barber, Blake Smith, your top 5. We know all those boys are hungry. I just want to touch on one thing, Ella. I don't believe in that top 5, the only driver who does have a win in the Northeast iRacing League is Merrick Sabran.
that is
So
correct. Yeah.
He is going to be under fire from those hungry hounds. But like you always say, it's still anybody's race. Logan Brown, Brandon Warren, Mike Saunders, they could make something happen. You never really know here. And that's what I love about this Dirt 358 modified racing.
Yeah, it's nice to see
everybody
Brandon Warren
moving
back up there too.
Lights are out on the pace truck. The field moving up toward the top. Sabrin and Josh Vern. Sabrin has a little bit of distance there, but Vern seems to close it up as we're coming to the restart. Driver's nose to tail. And the flagman's going to give us the green flag, and we are back to green flag at the
Green, green, green.
Number 12 is Sabrin working that cushion with Josh Vern right in behind him. That high side gambler, I guess I can start calling him Brody Plotz. He's under fire from... Oh, Sabrin gets into the wall a little bit. See if Josh Vern can capitalize on that. A little bit of a mistake being made. As we are now 2 laps to go here. Working lap 29 of 30 right now. Or, sorry. 28 of 30, my apologies. As Josh Vern's given Merrick Sabrin everything he has to see if he can do anything. Like Mark said, slide or die, and we know Sabrin loves those slide jobs being thrown. As the number 12 of Sabrin continues to lead the way, Matt Barber starting to see if he can close in on these 2 leaders that are battling it out and see if he can get the win. As the white flag is now out on the field, and it's looking like Sabrin continuing to lead the way. Matt Barber close in tow for his P2 position for being that bridesmaid yet again, unfortunately. But it looks like that... oh, I may have spoken too soon. Barber doesn't have anything for him. As we watch Clayton Slavsky with trouble, Checkers is out. Unfortunately for Barber, bridesmaid yet again. That number 12, Merrick Sabrin, going back-to-back in the Northeast iRacing League. So we're going to hear from Sabrin, Barber, and hopefully Josh Vern, Brody Plotz, and Blake Smith here in the next few moments. Let these drivers... get everything set up and get them into the commentators chat if they want to. But Mark Sabran in that number 12 machine going for his second Northeast iRacing League win, back-to-back, shades of James Normoyle here. That was a really good race to watch, Ella. Of course, Eldora, that was an extremely racy track.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great night and nice to see only a few didn't get to finish, but unfortunately that does happen. So hopefully next week we'll see them again. And
just putting out the invitation for drivers to join us here in the commentary area. As we are waiting for a couple drivers to join us, just want to say thanks to David Smith, of course, for organizing everything. As we have our back-to-back winner, America Sabran, joining us here in the commentary chat. Merrick, congratulations yet again on your second Northeast iRacing League win.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was definitely a hard-fought battle and a bit of a wreck fest. I think towards the back, there was a lot of cautions, but it happened.
It was really, really nice to see you battle your way up through the field. I know you came away with that B main win. I don't know if you were thinking, hey, man, I'm going into the A, starting a little bit further back than I'd like to. What were you thinking about at that moment?
Well, I knew that I still had a chance there. Especially at the start there, I think I got 5 spots in a lap. I really got lucky with that. But making my way up, I think there was a move like lap 13 or something. I slid up and I made contact with the guys up top, and not my proudest move. I wish I could take that one back.
Yeah, the volume definitely low there. I can still hear him, though. Hopefully you folks on the stream can. But either way, Merrick, congratulations yet again on your second consecutive and second overall Northeast iRacing League win. So hopefully see you back next week. We have Matt Barber joining us as well here tonight.
Yeah.
I know that was a really good, hard-fought battle with Josh Verne for that P2 position. Unfortunately, like I said, coming away as a bridesmaid yet again. Matt, what are your thoughts on your race here tonight?
Frustrating.
You'll get there, man. I know we saw Chad Lackey, of course, come away with a win.
Yeah, I was having a good race with Chad, but, you know.
Yeah,
I was having a good race with Chad for first and second, but that got screwed up, so.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough race for everybody. Kind of a bit of a race that was dictated by cautions. But either way, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, and hope to hear from you again soon. As we have our third place podium finisher right now, the number 1 of Josh Verne joining us in the voice chat. Josh, congratulations on your top 3 here tonight. How'd you do it?
Honestly, I just survived the demolition derby and tried to stay smooth along the cushion and avoid everybody throwing sliders across people's noses.
Yeah, definitely kept it clean tonight. I know you were up in the top 5 pretty well most of the night, where not a whole lot of the action was happening with the, like you said, incidents. But definitely congratulations on your third place finish. Thanks for joining us here, and we wish you the best next week.
Thank you.
Anyways, folks, to wrap it up, this event here at Eldora, I guess, we have Merrick Sabaray coming away with his second win in a row in Northeast iRacing League. Matt Barber, unfortunately, yet again a bridesmaid. Either way, he'll get his win eventually. Of course, the competition's extremely fierce here in the Northeast iRacing League. And Josh Verne, yet again, with another top 3 in the league. So, like I said, we'll get a full rundown on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, whatever it may be that you're using. YouTube, of course, please follow, like, subscribe. Keep up with everything that's going on with the Northeast iRacing League. Also want to thank some title sponsors. Urashi Media has partnered on board. I know Pine Tree Automotive has jumped on board for the hard charger for every event. When we go points racing, $10 to them. And there's going to be some hardware given away at the end of the year. Of course, I've seen the trophy myself. It's pretty nice, pretty good looking. I can say kudos to David for the design and everything with that. But like I said, follow us on social media. Keep up with the Northeast iRacing League. I'm Colin Chisholmore, driver of the 03 mini stock, Brockville, Ontario Speedway primarily. I'm joined in the commentary booth with Ella Scott. Of course, her second night commentating. Really good job, I can say, Ella.
Thank you.
But nonetheless, thanks everybody for tuning into the Northeast iRacing League. We hope you enjoyed our show here tonight and continue to tune in every Thursday when we're going with the practice races, when they're being run. And starting November 7th, we go points racing. So look for that to be starting here soon and more news and updates regarding that. Like I said, I'm Colin Chisholmore, joined by Ella Scott. Have a good evening, folks.